Yo, yo, yo. It's your favorite trauma-informed fitness expert, Coach Mars, on the Mars Fitness Unlimited podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. On this show, I will share my views on all things holistic fitness. That means exercise, nutrition, stress management and trauma healing, and of course, lifestyle change. If you like the conversations I'm having on this show, please share this episode with your friends, and I'd love to hear from you as well. So don't be afraid to connect with me on social media. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Now, let's get into the show. Yo, 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 what's up, Fit Fam? Hope you guys are having a beautiful, awesome, productive day. This is your girl, Coach Mars, on the Mars Fitness Unlimited podcast, okay? Here I will be discussing all things health, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, and personal development, okay? Today, I would like to talk to you guys about holistic fitness, okay? I want to define what that is, right? Because a lot of people are like, what is that? What is holistic fitness? I don't know what holistic fitness is. So I'm going to explain what holistic fitness is. And then I'm also going to dive deeper into why I chose this as a career path and why I think this method of training and this method of lifestyle change is the healthiest and most effective way to start your fitness journey, okay? If you like the content that I'm putting out on this show, if you want to engage with my content as well, go ahead and like or follow so that you can get the notifications, okay? Also, too, you are free to send in any questions or any comments that you have about my episodes and my discussions, okay? But let's get right into the episode, you guys. So I define holistic fitness as a form of training that includes the whole person, right? It kind of sees the person as a whole entity, right? Instead of just their body or just their nutrition or just their stress, right? So why is training from a holistic standpoint important, right? Why is this even a part of the fitness industry? I believe it's because health is not just about the body, okay? In order to achieve total health, you've got to start integrating your mental and emotional dimensions as well. And just from being a personal trainer and online fitness coach for the past 8 years, I have seen the connection and the correlation between these three dimensions. Your mental health is linked to your emotional health. Your emotional health is linked to your physical health, right? All those things will impact your life and your quality of life as you live it. So I'm going to talk about some components of a good holistic fitness lifestyle or holistic fitness routine. And then we'll get into how you can start shifting your life right now so that you can start having more total health, right? More whole, more complete health. Okay, so let's get into the components. So I'm going to begin with the physical aspects, and then I'm going to work my way up through the dimensions, okay? So I'm going to start with physical, then we'll get to mental, then we'll go into emotional, and then I'll end with spiritual, okay? Yes, your spiritual health is linked to your physical health. We're going to talk about it. So as far as the physical aspects of your life go, the two things that I think every routine should have are some form of personalized nutrition and some form of personalized movement, right? When you are trying to start your fitness journey, or even if you're trying to get back into a healthy lifestyle, right? It's important to do what works for you. I've seen so many women try diets and try routines and try these, programs or challenges that weren't set up with them in mind, right? That weren't set up with their strengths and their weaknesses in mind. So when they do it, it's challenging for them, right? And now they feel discouraged, or now they feel like they're doing something wrong, or that they can't get it right because it wasn't meant for them in the first place, right? So finding what works for you is super important. This is actually something I take the time to do with my clients because I know that if we take the time to do this on the front end, things are going to go a lot faster and smoother on the back end, right? So nutrition and movement should be personalized, right? If you don't like doing Zumba classes, don't do fucking Zumba classes, right? If you don't like doing CrossFit, don't do fucking CrossFit. If you don't like waking up at 5 a.m, stop waking up at 5 a.m, right? I mean, of course, unless you have to. Like, if you have to work out before you go to work and that's, like, the only time, that's fine, right? But if you're doing something just because you feel like you won't be successful without performing that way or doing that thing, shift your mindset, right? It's all about setting up your life to work for you because it is your life, right? I know that seems kind of cliche. Like, yes, of course you know that. But a lot of the time we spend the day focused on the external world, right? Focused on pleasing our boss, focused on making our kids happy, focused on taking care of our spouse, focused on, talking to our friends. And so we forget sometimes that we have to live for us, right? This life is for you and you only get one. So it's important to personalize that life to make sure that it actually works for you. But let's move into the next dimension. Mindset is definitely going to play an important role in body change and changing your physique, but also in just maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Somebody who has like a victim mentality and who, is always feeling like something's happening to them and feels like they can never find the positive aspects of their life, right? Those are the people who are going to struggle throughout their life, whether they're trying to lose weight or not. So having a growth mindset and cultivating a growth mindset within yourself is so important. So important. I have trained all types of women in my lifetime. And starting out, I've seen more success, I'll say that, with somebody who may not know what they're doing, right? Or may not be very confident or may not be very motivated, but their growth mindset is there, right? They're like, okay, I'm willing to get out of my comfort zone. I'm willing to get uncomfortable. I'm going to do the things that I need to do to show up for myself. I'm going to focus on the positive aspects of my life more than I focus on the negative aspects, right? And that mindset primes them for success because they're training their brain to build resilience. They're training their brain to keep on going, especially when obstacles come up, especially when difficulty pops up, right? Because it will. And having a growth mindset helps you push through those and helps you keep moving no matter what challenges you face, okay? So having a growth mindset is super important, okay? But I'm going to talk about 4 things super quick that help you build a growth mindset, okay? So the first one is patience. Patience is a muscle, okay? All of these are muscles, in my opinion. I am a firm believer that your mental system acts very similar to your physical muscular system, right? Like when you get stressed or when you have prolonged stress, your body starts to get tense, right? You get tension in your shoulders. Maybe your shoulders are up by your ears. You get tension in your lower back, right? You get tension in your chest. Those types of things happen when we don't manage our stress and when we don't regulate our nervous system. And your mental muscles are the exact same way. If you don't meditate or, de-stress or get good sleep every day, your stress on a mental level will build up, right? And just like you build up your physical muscles with weight training and cardio and those types of things, you have to build up your mental muscles as well. And the only way to build up muscle is to create challenge or tension, right? So building these things takes time, but if you put in the work, I'm telling you, if you put in the work, you will never have to worry about falling off track. You'll never have to worry about being inconsistent or unmotivated ever again. I have been working out for almost a decade now, and I'm still going strong. And I plan on going strong for the rest of my fucking life. So that's my secret. I have cultivated a routine that helps me strengthen my mental muscles. Patience is that first one. So increasing your ability to, I'm going to change my definition of this. Patience is how you wait while you wait, right? So improving your patience improves the quality of time while you wait, right? Somebody who has low patience, even though they may be waiting the same amount of time as a patient person, right? To them, it's a terrible experience. They feel like time is moving so slow. They feel like they're never going to get there. They feel like time is just not going anywhere, right? And somebody who's patient is just sitting there, just enjoying themselves, just enjoying the moment, being present. And so even though time is moving at the same speed for both those people, they're experiencing it in 2 totally different ways, right? So patience is number 1. Number 2 is discipline. Discipline is also a muscle. You have to practice doing the things that maybe you don't want to do all the time, right? You have to practice showing up for yourself on those days where you don't feel at 100%. You have to practice repeating habits over and over and over again, right? I'm a firm believer that discipline is the highest possible form of self-love. When you, really love your kids or when you really love your, partner, you help build them up, right? You help discipline them. And so your relationship with yourself should be exactly the same. Discipline yourself by showing up and committing to whatever it is you need to do, right? Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's meditating. Maybe it's, communicating better in your relationships, whatever it is for you, right? You want to commit to that, and then you want to practice the follow through. And that's where people really trip up. But we'll talk about that in another episode. But discipline is really just commitment plus follow through. Okay. And as you increase your follow through and as you increase your commitment, your discipline will increase, and then it'll be easier for you to adhere to your lifestyle. Okay. Number 3 is resilience. Resilience is one of my favorite muscles because I feel like this muscle is one that I've really built up. And resilience is your ability to handle challenges or tough times in your life, tough time periods, right? And so on the fitness journey, it's going to feel like a tough time, right? For a lot of people, it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all these new things, or I'm adding all these new things to my plate, right? I'm drinking more water, I'm exercising, I'm tracking my food, I'm meal prepping, I'm trying to get 8 hours of sleep, right? Like, it's a lot. So building the resilience that you need in order to keep going and not get burnt out, or to keep going and not lose your motivation, or to keep going and not want to give up on your goals when things get hard, right, is super important. And when I teach my clients how to build resilience, we always put the emphasis on self-care, okay? Because if you can take care of yourself when you're going through something tough, you will get through that tough thing a lot easier, right? It's almost like, think of a car, right? If you're going on a road trip and, well, actually, I'm gonna juxtapose these. So let's say you have 2 people going on a road trip, okay? Both have the same car, same gas mileage, everything. And one person tends to the health of their car as they travel, right? So maybe they get an oil change, maybe they change their tires, maybe they wash it on the outside and the inside, right? They do all those things. And the other person doesn't. They just try to go and, get from point A to point B. I'm pretty sure, I can guarantee you that the second person is going to come in contact with a lot of problems, right? Like they could have issues from not changing their oil, or they could have issues with a flat tire because they didn't change the tires frequently, right? And so taking care of that car allowed the first person to get farther than the second person who wasn't taking care of the car at all, okay? Your body is the exact same way. When you take care of your body, when you show up for yourself and you do 1 or 2 habits every day that pour into your self-care, right? Then it's almost like you're refreshing yourself. It's almost like you're restarting every day. It's like every day is a new day, and you have the same amount of willpower, the same amount of energy, the same amount of, drive and gun-ho, because you took that time to replenish that. And you do that with your self-care, okay? So that's muscle number 3. Last muscle for mindset is going to be focus, okay? This is a muscle that I struggled with and still struggle with, I'm going to say, to this day. I still struggle with focus. But dialing in your focus on what's most important and moving you forward is crucial, especially for all my hustlers out there who have a busy schedule or who have a lot going on or a lot on their plate, right? Like my mom's. Those people need focus. You need to be able to go, okay, I need to silence out everything I have going on right now and focus on this one thing, right? Focus on my workout, or focus on eating my food, or focus on going to sleep, right? Doing that consistently, like doing that on a daily basis, increases your efficiency, which of course increases your success rate. Okay, so if you struggle with focus, you'll have a real hard time remembering to do all the things. Okay, you'll forget to, eat the right amount of food. You'll forget to schedule your workouts. You'll forget that you have to drink water. You'll forget, right? Or it'll feel like you don't have time, or it'll feel like you're overwhelmed. Those types of symptoms tell me that you have a lack of focus. Okay, so start cultivating that muscle by creating the space to focus on purpose. So like I do this with meditation. I focus on my heartbeat. I focus on how it feels and how it sounds. And every time my focus is directed elsewhere, I revert it back to my heart rate, right? And that forces me to focus on that one specific thing for an extended period of time. And when I started this habit, you guys, I think I was able to do it for maybe like a minute. It wasn't very long at all. And now I can sit in one spot for about 10 minutes, do absolutely nothing, and focus on my heartbeat, okay? So it takes some time, but it is a beautiful muscle, a beautiful skill to have, okay? Now, I've went super deep into mindset, so I'm going to move into the next dimension of your health, and that's going to be emotional health. And this is one that I see a lot of people miss. This is one that I see a lot of people forget about when they start their fitness journey, right? They think it's just about the workouts and the dieting and the supplements and all that stuff, but they have not done the work internally to show up for themselves, right? So maybe their confidence is lacking. Maybe their trust in themselves, right, is low. And so they lack the confidence necessary to show up and take action every day, right? I've actually had a couple clients like this where they came to me and they were like, Coach, I really need help. I am ready. I'm motivated. Let's do it, right? And then when we got into the gym and it was time to lift heavier, or if it was time to challenge themselves, right? They didn't think they could do it. They didn't trust themselves. They didn't confide in themselves. And that's where confidence comes from. I always say the root word of confidence is confide, right? Confidence. So when you trust yourself, when you know that you can handle anything that comes your way, that's when you're confident, right? And you have to do the work internally to build that and to cultivate that, right? So emotional health is super important. Another reason why emotional health is super important is because the fitness journey ain't easy, right? It is not something that you can just breeze through. And so difficult, big emotions are going to come up, right? You're going to get discouraged. You're going to get frustrated with yourself. You're going to get shameful sometimes. Like if I'm use myself as an example. Sometimes when I overeat, like really overeat, like on the weekends, sometimes I'll eat out and I'll, be with my friends and stuff. And so I'll forget that I need to prioritize, my health. And so I'll eat a little bit too much and I won't drink enough water. And maybe I didn't get any movement in. And so by the end of the day, I'm like, God damn it, Kia. Gotta do better than this, right? That's what I mean. And those emotions, you have to mitigate. You have to manage. Because if you don't, they only build up, okay? For all my spiritual people out there, my scientific people too, there's energy cannot be created or destroyed. So once it's created, it will always be there until it's transmuted, okay? So if you're feeling shameful about, eating that cupcake or skipping your workout, you've got to do the work to release that emotion, right? You have to do the work to go, okay, I know I didn't show up today. I didn't do my workout, but I'm going to commit to doing my workout tomorrow, right? I'm going to put it in my calendar. I'm going to show up for myself, right? That would mitigate that emotion of shame, right? And then you would be able to move forward into your next day feeling more confident. So emotional health and integrating that into your routine and into your daily life is super important. It's super important. But let's get into how you can increase your emotional health just a little bit. Okay, so emotional agility is really what I define emotional health as. And emotional agility is your ability to handle your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and then take aligned action based off of those things. Okay, so you do this by increasing your self-awareness. Okay, you do this by observing yourself every day. And for all my Americans out there who think that this is super hard, it's because you spend so much time focused on something else. We're focused on the TV, watching Netflix. We're focused on the computer or our phone, scrolling through social media. We're focused on our friends or anybody else we're talking to, right? Rarely ever do we take the time to focus on ourselves and observe ourselves and what we're doing and why we're doing it, right? And how that thing makes us feel. And that self-awareness is huge, freaking huge. Self-awareness freaking changed my life. So increasing your self-awareness will give you the space and the power to recognize your own patterns, right? Like if you're self-sabotaging yourself or if you're doing something that's not in your own best interest, right? But you don't even know you're doing it. This gives you the space to notice that, right? And go, oh my gosh, I did not realize I was drinking 3 glasses of wine every night. That's something that definitely impedes my fitness journey, right? Oh my gosh, I totally didn't realize I was going to sleep at a different time every single day. That could definitely change my weight loss journey, right? So noticing those things and being self-aware enough to notice those things is super important, okay? The next thing you want to use your self-awareness for is identifying your thought patterns, okay? Because how you think is how you live. Your mental life is linked to your emotional and your physical life. So when you are thinking more positive thoughts, when you're correcting the negative thoughts, and when I say correcting, like let's say you have a thought that says, oh my gosh, I look so ugly, right? Replacing that thought with, okay, I don't look how I want to look right now, but I am beautiful in some way, right? That shift in thinking will allow you to act in a different way, right? Let's say you didn't change that thought. And now you're going through the rest of your day feeling fat and ugly or disgusting. And that is not very motivating at all, right? So now you don't want to work out. Now you don't really want to be social. Now you don't want to do self-care, right? Now you don't want to do all the things that you know are going to move you in the right direction to improve your body in the first place, right? But if you go, okay, I'm not where I want to be right now, right? Like this is definitely not what I want. I want, a six pack. I want this, I want that. But this is my body, right? And I'm going to own that. I'm going to fucking appreciate that because I only get one. And I know there's something about my body that I can find beautiful, right? That mindset is totally fucking different. Woo! Totally different. And the action that you can take from that space is a lot higher, right? You can go to the gym with that mindset. You can eat healthy with that mindset because you're in the mindset of one step at a time, right? You're in the mindset of I'm going to keep moving forward. And that is a growth mindset, okay? So those are two ways that you can increase your emotional agility and increase your awareness, okay? The last dimension of your health is going to be spiritual, okay? And when I say spiritual, I don't mean religious. I mean more energetic, okay? So for all my spiritual people out there, this is for you. I am a firm believer that we are all made of masculine and feminine energy, right? This is a very dualistic world. We have up and down and left and right and black and white. So those juxtapositions, those differences, that duality is within us. And so a lot of the time when we go into a fitness journey, we exclude the energetic part of us. We forget that we are souls living in a human body and having a human experience and not the other way around, right? And so you can still be sabotaging yourself or still have issues on your fitness journey, even if you're eating healthy, even if you're, exercising every week, and even if you're managing your stress, right? And I've seen this happen in some of my clients. I was actually talking to one of my clients this week, and she just started, so we're trying to get her meal prep routine and all that stuff together. And she told me yesterday, she was like, Coach, I am really good at meal prepping. Like, I can grocery shop and I can prep my food and I can do all that stuff, but it just sits in the refrigerator because I'm not eating throughout the day. I'm either too stressed or too busy, or I'm out and about moving around throughout the day and I just don't have the time to eat. So what happens is I just throw that food away every week and I've just wasted money. So how can I increase my success rate when it comes to eating my food? And I was like, well, the first thing I'm noticing is that your masculine and feminine energy is not balanced right now. And in America, this is perfectly normal. So don't think that she's like by herself. I experience this too. In America, we are a very masculine country. We are all about the money, right? It's about going to work, and it's about doing the things, and it's about strategizing, and it's about executing, and it's about marketing, and it's about this, and it's about sales, and it's about, right? And so we spend all day up here in our heads. And we disconnect from our body and we stay in our minds, so to speak. And so when it's time for you to connect to your body, because you're not going to know if you need to eat or not, right? Because you're not getting those hunger signals that your stomach is giving you. So when it's time to reconnect to your body, it's like we struggle to do so, or like we don't know how to do it because we haven't practiced, right? So it's important to understand how to stay grounded and how to stay in your body. And you do this by balancing out your masculine and feminine energy, okay? So one of the most important things that you can do right the freak now to balance your energies out is slow down, okay? Slow the fuck down. If you are one of those busybodies, like I'm a busybody, as soon as I get up in the morning, I am going all day, checking in with my clients, and I'm eating food, and I'm working out, and I'm going on a walk, and I'm running errands, and I'm taking care of my cat. Like, I'm doing stuff all day, right? Which means I'm in my masculine energy all day. And so to mitigate this, what I've done is I've created little times or little pockets of time in my day where I literally spend time doing nothing. I slow down, right? I move more intentionally. Maybe that means I walk outside in nature by myself, or maybe that means I sit and meditate for 10 or 15 minutes, right? But I find ways to slow down. And what that forces my masculine energy to do is to pump the brakes, right? And go, okay, we can't take action right now. She is sitting and meditating. And that forces my energy to kind of balance back out. And then from there, I don't feel as stressed. I don't feel as tight. I don't feel as overwhelmed. I don't feel as adrenaline filled, right? And I can kind of decompress a little bit. And from that space, I can go, okay, what do I need to do next in my day that's going to set me up for success with what I'm trying to do with my life, right? I can, eat my food. I can drink some water. I can go for a walk, right? But if you are going and taking action all day, you don't have the space to do that. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is really be intentional when you take certain actions. Like when you eat, for example, take the time to cut out all your distractions. Take the time to cut out all of the things that are going to direct your focus elsewhere. And you'll increase your awareness as you eat. You'll be able to notice the signals that are, coming from your stomach telling you that you're full. Or you'll be able to hear the signals coming from your stomach telling you that you shouldn't eat that thing, right? Those types of signals are always happening, you guys. Always happening. Your body sends you hundreds of thousands of signals a day. And I guarantee you, if I ask one of you guys how many signals you get, you might be able to list 10, right? Maybe 15 times where you actually got a feeling in your body that you responded to. So it's a process. Reconnecting with your body is a process, but it's one that I'm dedicated to for life, and I'm definitely going to help other women do this as well. So slow down, cut out the distractions when you're doing certain tasks like eating and sleeping and working, right? Those types of things will help you direct your focus and will help you conserve your energy and use your energy more efficiently, okay? So I hope this episode was super helpful. Like, I loved talking about all this stuff. This is definitely something I'm going to be talking about more as we get into more episodes. But let me know if you have any questions or comments from the material that I just gave to you guys, because this is definitely something that's life-changing. If you can look at your life from a more multidimensional perspective and go, okay, everything I do on the physical plane is linked to how I feel emotionally and how I think mentally, right? So pouring into those aspects of myself will improve my physical life. Freaking game changer. I'm telling you. I am living the life that I always dreamed of, because I took the time to improve my emotional and my mental health. So if you feel like you need some help with that, I have a program called the Strong Her program, and it includes all of the dimensions that we just discussed. So workouts for your physical health, nutrition, as well, personalized nutrition. And then I have mindset tools, emotional tools, and then energetic tools as well. So if you're interested in hearing about that, I'll leave a link below, and you can schedule a free consultation with me so we can talk more about it, okay? I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm about to get my workout on, and I will talk to you later. Coach Mars is out.